Welcome to Hair Up, Bra Off podcast. We're here to be your new comfort fix with unfiltered conversations on random topics and gossip. As two women in their 30s, Kathryn, who's been chronically single, and Sue, who is happily married with 2 cats. So take your bra off, throw your hair up, and let's get into it. And men, if you're listening, take notes. Okay, you ready?
So bad.
I know.
You should keep that.
Oh, so much is happening inside and around me. It's just been a long, cold day. But anyways,
It is cold
cold.
times.
Hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another incredible episode of Hair Up, Bra Off. We are so excited to have you here listening. And on today's episode, I'm going to debrief on something that I just saw on TikTok that I feel like I need to share. And then we're going to get into the topic of traveling and traveling with friend groups and describing those who travel with us, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But what I just saw on TikTok, I don't even know how to register it. But Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are back together.
No.
They were caught holding hands, leaving a TV studio.
They were seen canoodling.
They were seen. But like, what is happening? 2 years? I think it's been 2 years since their divorce. They were only married for 2 years.
Toxic. They're like a toxic couple for sure. Yeah. I mean, he's an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
He has to have some addiction. Sometimes those people like tend to be more attached to like toxic situations.
But it's interesting to me because she doesn't seem to have that problem, considering she has been with certain significant partners for a while. But once it's over, she seems to move on. For some reason, Ben Affleck has something that she can't get away from.
Yeah.
And
I wonder who is it one that initiates a connection, like, you know?
Me too, because who knows? I'm flabbergasted because it's like you guys go through all that trouble of being together, not together, waiting 20 years, getting back together, love a whirlwind, getting married, divorced, 2 years married, divorced 2 years, and now they're holding hands again together. Yep.
It's a lot of back and forth.
And you know what? You know what I really find interesting? I wonder what the people in their lives think. Like, I wonder what his close friends have to say. I wonder what his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, has to say, because I think she's a saint. I think that you can tell she does care for him and she cares about her family and she's always stood by his side, regardless of how horrible he probably was.
Yeah.
But God, can Jennifer just come on and like let us know what she thinks? Like, I care more about what she thinks than what Jennifer Lopez thinks, you know? Can you imagine your ex-husband like going back and forth with a woman with the same name as you too?
Oh, that's true. But I don't think she like, I mean, I think she's like, it's over. Like,
oh no, Jennifer Garner's like, she's like, you can have Ben. I think she's, you know what? I almost think that she's grateful that Jennifer has taken such a big role in Ben's life and taking him in as many times because it's probably a load off her.
Right.
Because he seems like a lot. He seems like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've known, and I know him personally. No, I don't. But
no, same, honey. We were chatting with him over drinks the other night. I mean, yeah, he started drinking again.
Ugh.
It's wild out there.
It's just fascinating. Like, I wonder what their divorce lawyers are thinking right now, or just what
their divorce lawyers are probably like, this is good for us. Like, we might get another divorce out of this, you know? Money rules, you know?
I don't know. They fascinate me. They're the one couple that I just honestly, I never know what's going to happen between them. They really do keep me on my toes. Whether or not they're going to get married or not married, whether or not they're going to be divorced or together the next day. I'm sat and I'm ready. So,
yeah. I mean, we'll see, I guess. They might get married again.
If they get married again, I'm saying it here first. I will fly in to the place that they're getting married and creep just to see it in person.
We should go together. We should definitely fly together. This
is
leading us
outside
to our next topic, which is the fact that I can't stop saying no or saying yes to trips, you know?
No, yes. This is a Sue problem. Sue travels so much, and I've never known someone to just be somewhere out of the blue at a random time. Like, I'd never know where you are. If I didn't have you on Find My Friends, I would never know. I would never
Yeah.
know.
Well, okay, so this was gonna be my kind of talking about traveling and who we are when we travel and also like friend groups that we travel with. I was wondering, like, you have you ever done a solo trip?
What do you mean solo? Like
Like you
solo?
didn't know anyone and the destination that you went to?
Absolutely not. I'm not trying to get kidnapped
Okay,
and sex
see,
trafficked. So no,
that's
that's a
what
no.
I was trying to get to that. Like, what is the psychology behind that? Like, or what is the fear, I guess?
It's not so much a fear, but it's just the understanding and realization that I know who I am and I know how I would be in a place where I didn't know anyone. I There would be a lot of obstacles. I would probably be doing more worrying than having fun.
Mm,
And I just think when I go on vacation, I want to enjoy it and be a little bit more carefree. Sometimes when you're traveling alone, it can be a lot, you
yeah,
know. I mean,
that's true.
have you gone somewhere by yourself, like going somewhere and not knowing where was
Mhm.
that? Where'd you travel to?
I mean, I can think of when I went to Europe when I was 24 for the first time, and I did, like, a few countries before. I met up with some friends, like France and, Belgium maybe at the time, and then I went to when I lived in London for the 3 months, I didn't know anyone there, and then while I was living there, I went to Copenhagen, Denmark by myself,
Mhm.
and I went to another place by myself. Or I've been to Norway by myself also, or I just tend to do, like, before I'm going to a place, like,
Mhm.
maybe 3, 4 days or something somewhere else that I kinda wanna go, and then, continue on to the trip that, like and then eventually like, I've done trips where I'll be alone for, like, half of it, and the other half I'll, like, meet up with friends or something in a different city where they're
Yeah.
at.
Well,
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store by myself, and that was honestly an accomplishment. I only got what I needed, spoke to the cashier, we had a delightful conversation, and then I left happy, and it was a win.
Mhm.
So try to
Mhm.
top that too, honestly.
I also stayed in Singapore by myself. That's true.
I would go to Singapore because I feel like I would feel safe there because
Well,
I
okay,
feel
so
like
that's
they're
that's what I mean,
very
like, I'll
strict.
try to do it in places that I know I mean, even if I've never been there, that are gonna be, like, safe for women
Yeah.
alone.
No, of course.
So, it's not like I'll go to, like, I don't know, Iran by
Mhm.
myself, and, like, explore solo traveling, like, yay.
Yeah.
I usually do it in, like, Europe and, now that I've been to, like, the main capital, so I'll be like, "Okay, I'll go to, like, this small town by myself," like, on, like,
Mhm.
a couple of, like, days or whatever, so I feel more comfortable, like, traveling in a country after I've been there too, and then what I have done in the past is also do when I was younger specifically, I would go to a place and get a hostel, like, do a hostel and then meet the people at the hostel, so I met a lot of people like that actually, like, just out with because the hostel would do, like, drinking things, and then you just
Yeah.
kinda, like, join the hostel. So when you're, like, in your 20s, it's, like, not that it sounds crazy now, but, like, there's a lot of young teenagers, like, 20-year-olds traveling the world on their own at the moment.
No, yeah, one thing I've noticed and a big difference between cultures is in America, I feel traveling, especially when you're in your 20s, it's more vacay destinations or
Yeah.
going to a certain location to see like the Grand Canyon. But I feel like in Europe, the young people there really do travel into different
Oh, yeah.
countries. They
Oh,
really
yeah.
span out to different cultures.
By themselves.
Yeah, by themselves.
Yeah.
And I know it's because, of course, everything's closer in Europe, the countries, and you can kind of move around a lot and you can explore a lot more because not only is it closer, but budget wise. And so I feel like the younger crowd in that sense traveling in Europe is a lot more lively than I feel like here in the United
Yeah,
States.
there's also this, I stayed in Barcelona too by myself. I met this girl, I let her borrow a top of mine, and I never saw her again, and I never saw my top.
Wow.
She was
See?
dating a married man. She was cool though. Anyway, so I have a picture with her on my Instagram. One of the countries also that does the traveling, I know is like Australians and Argentinians. They do like
Hmm.
1 year, one gap year. It's like very normalized that they do
Hmm.
one gap year. And then they just travel the world from like Australia to Europe to whatever,
Hmm.
like, Southeast Asia, because they're closer to Southeast Asia. So it's like a cultural thing. Like
Yeah.
they have to do it. Most people defer university or college entrance until they come back from their year abroad.
Yeah. That seems fun though.
It's fun. I think
It's nice. It's like
it's
a
kind of related. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's kind of like a nice what's the word I'm thinking of? No strings attached kind of fun outing with people that
Mhm.
are just there that you know you're just having fun with for that one night and you don't have to worry about it again, you know?
That's what I found was, like, the funnest part because you really like, it really doesn't matter. Like, the amount of people that I saw and, like, let's say there was a guy that got kicked out. It was, like, annoying at that time that this person got kicked out, but, like, nobody knew who he was or
Yeah.
if they'll ever see him again. So you weren't worried about, like, having a bad reputation because what is somebody in Madrid gonna do with your reputation? But I'm glad I did it. It was fun. I feel like I can never do that now, but, because also there's, like, all these stories now with I recently saw that 2 girls well, 1 girl died, but the other girl is alive, and they were at this hostel in maybe some country that is also not widely visited, which is,
Yeah.
like, lesson number 1, not to blame the victims, but
Yeah.
go to, like, a tourist place.
Mhm.
So, they were, like, in a less visited country, and they stayed at a hotel, and they drank their alcohol, and the alcohol was, like they had changed the bottles with, like, something else. I don't know specifically what, but it's something that, like, if you drink, just 1 glass of it, it's like you're dead.
Mhm.
So
It's very sh so I actually have heard a lot of stories about things happening with alcohol poisoning and a lot of people dying. I think there was a ton in, like I don't wanna say Bali, but I'm pretty sure I heard something of a lot of younger people in Bali
it was a
drinking,
place in Southeast Asia, but I forget, like
but it was something with alcohol, and this is what I find
yeah.
interesting is you see that a lot in outside countries where people get affected by alcohol poisoning, or there's been a
Mhm.
lot of knife attacks in Europe. But in the United States, there's not really that much alcohol poisoning. It's much more like drug overdoses.
Drug
And then of
overdoses, yeah.
course gun violence. So it's just
Laos.
interesting.
It was Laos, the country, FYI.
Laos.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how danger varies depending where you're traveling in the culture. Like I
Yeah.
said, here, a lot of drug overdoses, a lot of people getting drugged and being robbed, especially like in Miami now. But
Yeah.
in like places like that, I've just been
Or
hearing
getting
so
shot.
much. We're getting shot. No, yeah, we're getting shot. And outside of the US, a lot of like alcohol poisoning, which I find so strange and specific. Like what, how, like it, again, traveling just opens up all these different things that can happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, danger is everywhere, right?
No,
Like
yeah. That's why it's good to be
yeah.
prepared, you
And
know?
I think that's why I have this perspective on it of like, okay, well, like how much worse could this be than New York City? Probably
No, yeah.
less. And so I just go. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna go to like a place where I know that I have less rights and whatever, but a lot of Northern Europe is very safe. And so
No,
if you
yeah.
want to go anywhere, walk
It's
around the
like when
streets, Northern
yeah.
Europe is your place.
Like, since my family's from Ecuador and I travel to Ecuador a lot and I know the areas to go to, I feel absolutely safe there.
Right.
And in retrospect, I'm sure a lot of people would say the opposite. Like, if I were to Ecuador, I'd be really worried and really scared because I
Hmm.
hear all these stories. But because I know Ecuador, I'm aware of the surroundings and I know where to be and where not to be, it does make it easier to feel
Yeah.
comfortable. So it's just like knowing your research.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
love Singapore. Isn't Singapore like crazy? It has like my dad traveled there once when we were younger and he got us a shirt of all the laws and it was like you can't chew gum or you get your head chopped off.
Yeah.
You can't litter or your hands will come off.
There's a lot of laws. Yeah.
Which scares me because I'm like, okay, my biggest fear is getting arrested in a different country. Or getting arrested in a different country for something I didn't do. Like, my biggest
Mm.
fear in life is whales. Whales is always gonna be number 1. I don't know why they scare me.
Maybe the
Something
whales are empowered to arrest you in another country.
it could happen. They've been attacking boats. Don't try me. Anyways, so it's whales. And then my second biggest fear is become or what's getting accused of a crime I didn't do outside of the country. You
Yeah.
know, that's like I think about that probably way more than other people think about that.
It's
And
funny because you don't do that.
okay. And I think it's because I see these really niche videos and documentaries about how this happened once in a million lifetime, and then I'm like, "That could happen to me,"
That's
you know?
crazy.
But
No. I
there's
it's like I might have that fear as I go and I stay in a hotel rooms alone.
yeah.
I'm like and I read about how people like women have their hotel room, kind of like they get into the hotel room or whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm always like double checking, closing it,
Mhm.
whatever. And one time I went up to the in actually in Oslo, Norway, I went up to the guy because I was hearing noises. And I'm like, I'm hearing noises. And the man's like, I don't understand. And so he finally went and investigated. He's like, oh, yeah, this is like, there's another couple here in the balcony. And like, that's probably what you're hearing. And I'm like, okay, I thought it was somebody that was trying to get into my room. And he's like, no, I think that doesn't happen. But he's like, I'm here. Like, don't worry. And I'm like, okay.
You're being so proactive. Wow.
I was not trying to get kidnapped in
Wow,
Oslo,
impressive.
Norway, okay? Out of all countries, that's the place that I'm like, this is where I'm like getting kidnapped in Norway. Not me walking around
Interesting.
Paris, middle of the night, just fine. Like, like also like walking around the middle of nowhere, Peru, no road, and
Mhm.
just going to this cabin, no road cabin in Colorado, also fine. But this hotel room in Oslo, Norway, I was like, "Nope, someone's gonna kidnap me here."
I always say it's just the noises that you're not used to, you tend to get more fear out of.
Yeah,
So I feel like anytime I'm in a new place, I always remind myself like it's normal to hear things like a city or animals or
yeah,
couples,
yeah.
you
But
know.
okay, before we run out of time, I wanted to talk about the types of people that you travel with. So
Okay.
for that, I feel like because of the amount of traveling that I've done, I've traveled also with a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I would say, like, there are I'll go through, like, the types, and then I'll say which one I think is the worst. So there's, like,
Okay.
a very the number okay, worst type
Mm.
is negative/drama person. Like,
Mhm.
they go to a pl slash, like, high maintenance, I guess. They go to a
Slash
place.
dramatic, slash anxiety, slash depressed. Sorry, just
No,
slash.
I didn't say anxiety. I think anxiety is
Just kidding.
fine. I just said, like, someone that doesn't think anything is good enough. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like, you'll
No,
pick a
yeah, yeah.
place and they'll
Mhm.
complain about the place, or they'll complain about the restaurant or the city in general. Oh my god,
Mhm.
I hate that shit. Like, if you go to a country and they're like I've been in places where people are like, "Oh, well, they don't speak English here." What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? If you wanted to just stay in your a seed place with
Mhm.
English being around you. Stay wherever you were at.
But
Like,
this is
don't
another
come
thing.
here.
I know damn well you're not trying to talk to anyone either. I know
Yeah.
darn well you're not trying to have a full on conversation with the guy walking down the street. So why do you care if they speak English? Honey, you're barely talking to me on this trip. Who do you think
Yeah.
else are you going to talk to? I mean,
It's like people that cannot adapt to the fact like if you're traveling, you know that it's not going to be like where you live, right? Like
yeah.
that should be like it's not where I live. Okay. You should have done some research as to what the country has or does not have, or how do
Mhm.
people usually communicate, or how you get from one place to the other. In some places, you're going to have to put up with the fact that you're not always going to have the temperature that you're going to want to have, and or like the ability to get from point A to point B without passing through some treacherous roads. So
Mhm.
I that's my number. I hate that number one type.
So it's kind of like the person who is unprepared for what is expected.
Hmm.
And I've noticed a lot of times, anxiety comes out in different ways. And I feel one of that is when people tend to, you know what I'm saying? It's just people who tend to complain a lot. It's kind of like they're compensating for this anxiety of being misplaced is that they just start complaining nonstop because it's like a weird way of comforting themselves
Mm,
by just kind of saying, like, no, I don't like this place. Like, it's not me, it's this place kind of feeling,
I see.
you know?
That's a good perspective. Yeah, I just like don't have time, and I'm like,
And
okay,
no, I
well, this
agree
is
with
where we
it. Yeah.
are, and you're gonna have to change your attitude because we're not changing where we are. So we're
Yeah.
here, and now we're just gonna have to move forward. You
And
know?
as someone with anxiety, I am very aware of my environment. I'm very aware of how I'm being towards others and vice versa because I know how much that can change the dynamic and the feel of the group,
Yeah.
Because I know how much it can affect me. So I'm always like, no, let's all be happy because it's happy.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so then it's kind of in the same vein, but when we went to when we did like a school trip that I did with my business school. It was a lot of us, and there was a lot of drama. People were unhappy and annoyed at like minor things that had been said, like words that were exchanged, and people were like, kind of losing their shit and like crying and yelling. And I'm over here like, guys, we're in a very nice place overlooking the ocean, getting on boats. I've never seen people so upset on boats. that, like, brought me down. That was, like, a trauma for me because I've only been happy on a boat, and the
Mhm.
people around me have been happy on a boat, and there's never been any, like, sadness, but people were not happy on boats. Though I'm like, I didn't realize that people could be upset on a boat. I've never seen that before. So, I don't like that. I don't like okay, very just to, like, summarize it, I don't like people that are mad. You can be sad, but if
Mhm.
you're mad, especially at somebody else on the boat, no. We're on a boat.
Yeah. Make the most of it. Yeah.
Make the most of it. It's 4 hours only. Be mad after or before. Yeah, it's fine if you
Yeah.
get sad because sometimes you're drinking and, like, you get emotional, and that's fine, but it's, like,
Mhm.
all cute and
Mhm.
whatever. But, like, being angry, it's bad energy. Throw you off the over the boat. Throw you off
Yeah.
the boat.
What was being said? Was it
Honestly,
like
it doesn't even matter. It was so stupid. I think it was, like, just minor things that were said, and then there was, like, people that didn't wanna, like, be in the same house, which was hard for everybody because it's like now we've already paid for this Airbnb houses, and so we need to, like, separate people that don't like each other,
yeah.
people that were upset at who they were placed with in these houses, people that were upset at, like, the itinerary itself, which had been planned for, like, months. It was just like I yeah, I think it kinda goes it's the same vein of, like, people that are not okay with the circumstances that they already are in, because it's like, "Just stop." This is only I mean, it was a longer trip. I think we most of us did, like, 3 or 4 weeks, so it wasn't just,
Yeah.
like, 3 or 4 days. It was kind of a long trip, which I get another thing, if it's a big
Yeah.
group, like, don't do more than, like, 1 weekend. But I think extending it is, like, what actually was breaking people. But still, like, I just kind of focus on one day at a time and trying
Yeah.
to just, like, remain calm during that day. And, like, we had all the comforts. Like, the places we went to weren't hard places. It was we had maids. I got a massage almost every other day in the different
Mm,
places that we stayed at. We had pools, we had the ocean, we were on boats, we had great food, great restaurants. Like, we weren't, like, suffering
yeah.
by any means.
You had hot water, you had air
Hot water,
conditioning.
everything, everything.
I always
So,
say you could
it wasn't
always
bad.
you can learn if you ever question someone as, "Well, I just met them and I'm still not sure who they are or where this friendship is going," just go on a trip with them. And I feel
Yeah,
like you can really see someone for who they are when they're in a
makes or break
different
you.
environment, the way that they act towards things, for
Yeah,
example, being in such a nice place but still being a Debbie Downer. That
yeah,
takes a lot of talent and some people just have it.
it
And you
does.
just need to be aware of it because that again, that's shocking. I would see, like, episodes of Below Deck, and I would see the charter guests having the worst time.
Oh my god, that is exactly how this was playing out. Those people that fight on the
Mhm.
below, like, that's exactly what it was.
And then it just makes you realize, like, wow, if they can't be happy here, then maybe I just need to reevaluate if they'll ever be happy again, and if I wanna be around them, like, my god.
This is the facts. It was like, I'm like, I don't think that you can I don't nobody's perfect, of
Yeah,
course,
of
including
course.
myself. But, if you can have a good we're here for a good time.
Yeah, not a long time, a
Not a
good
long time,
time.
but a good time. If you can't be a good time, like, get the fuck out of my life and, like, don't talk to me again. Go over there with your misery, like,
Mhm.
somewhere else. But yeah, those are the worst
I think
people to me.
the theme for this podcast for 2026 is just being self-aware. Like, I feel people who are self-aware on a trip, even if they're Debbie Downers, at least I've known people who are aware of it and they'll say, "Hey, I gotta go, excuse myself for a few hours. I'm feeling a little down, but I want everyone else to still have fun." And they still manage to be able to control how they're feeling and not ruin the
Mhm.
vibes, unlike on that boat where
That's true.
clearly no one cared. It was all like, "I wanna feel the best, and if I'm not feeling the best, then it's gonna be everyone else's problem,
Yeah, right, right.
and I don't get paid for this, this is my vacation. This isn't, a paid fun time." So
Exactly. And I think kind of on the same token, it's like the best people then are the ones that are just very, like, adaptable to me,
mhm,
and those that can just, like I love people that don't have, like, too much of an agenda, that just kinda say we should, because I'm not like a museum person or like a sites person when I go
mhm.
somewhere. Like, I don't really care to, like, check the box on, like, the tourist attractions. Like, if
Yeah.
I pass by the tourist attraction while I'm on my way to the bar, that's great. You know,
That's it.
if I take a picture while I'm walking by and I see the museum, like, click, that's a museum, clicked it, did it, you know? Like, I was on my way to the beach. I'm
I
not trying to go. I'm
I'm
not trying to do that.
I'm so dead because we had a not a girls trip, a woman's retreat to Denver, and one of our friends lives in Denver. And like a week before, she was sending out recommendations of what we should do, and she kept bringing up hiking, and everyone in the group was dead silent. No one was responding or
Wait,
saying anything.
that the one person, I feel like that shit was you, bro. Like, you could be like, "Yeah, for the hike." I'm like, "Is this bitch for reals?
No, 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 no.
The hike?"
So she put in a hike. So I first said I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
I would do good on a hike, and you
I
second
missed
that.
that. I thought it was you
No, no,
talking about
no,
the
no,
hike.
no. But then I recommended a ooh, sorry, take two. I recommended a uh a hike, which wasn't a hike. It was basically just us walking in town. That's what the hike was. And
Okay.
I put that in, but she called me out and she goes, "That's not even a hike. That's just walking around the town." And I was like, "Damn it." I was like, she called
Yeah.
me. Fuck. But in all reality, when I
No.
looked up other things to do, the only thing to do in that area was to go on that stupid hike. But I'm glad that we
Yeah.
all came forward and we were like, we love that you love being there and we love that you love hiking. But like, there's other circumstances. Like, I'm from Florida and this is Denver and it's freezing cold, you
It
know?
was too cold, yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't care about nature.
We
I don't care
hiked to the
about
bar. We hiked to the bar.
yeah, we
Okay.
hiked downhill to the bar.
To the bar. That's our hiking. And you know what? I'm
To be
proud of
fair,
us.
in freezing conditions, like,
Yeah.
it was tough. That was a tough hike.
That was the
So,
first time that I've ever seen all 4 of us in the dark talking to each other consistently and not be on our phones, like, on social media. Like, we were all
yeah.
so present going downhill, worried that we
Yeah.
were gonna get eaten by bears.
Yeah. Well,
But
also we couldn't pull out our phones, it was freezing, so
oh,
we
yeah.
were like it's the
It
other
was
thing.
so
I
cold.
couldn't. I had to just, like,
Yeah.
keep going without my phone. But, yeah, no, I mean, I don't care for that. So whoever is on my same level, again, for the followers that are following us, let me know. I'm down to go on a trip. Wherever you wanna go, I'm down to just, like I'm more of, like, a people and, like, people fun type of things, like, in the places. Like, eating is a thing of mine. We
Yeah.
can go to a really good restaurant and, like, have a really good experience. I'm really more about, like, finding the comfort wherever I go, even if it's, like, a hard to get to place. Like, I wanna go to the place, I wanna enjoy it, but I just don't wanna do the hikes and or the museums.
You wanna know what's so
What?
I'm thinking how some people like start a podcast or, post videos hoping to entice a certain someone, like they're trying to get girls or they're trying to look for a man. And with you though, it's so clear you're whoring yourself out for a travel partner. I feel like that was your whole excuse for having this podcast. You were legit just like, so if anyone comment down below, I am ready to go. Here is what I dislike and like.
Yeah.
Like you are
Women only. Women
women
only.
only. Yes, please. Women only. Women retreat only.
The fuck out of here. Bill, get out of my comments.
Dude, I bet you Bill is a grandpa. All the hate comments that we have gotten, it's someone's grandpa
Yeah, it's
right
someone's
there.
grandpa, but I bet you they're gonna try to travel with me as soon as I offer it and
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe I can go." No, you're not
Hmm.
invited, Bill. Only Mary's.
Bill. See that this is what happens when you leave a hate comment, you end up framed in my room right there. That's our first hate comment is framed right there
It's framed and printed.
and printed. Let me
Everything.
get it. And mind you, this guy is so old. Dios mío. Es que no sé. I don't know how they know how to use it. If anyone, he put, okay, makes no sense. And mind you, he didn't spell anything
He
right.
misspelled. That makes no sense.
It's this man right here. That man right there commented, okay, makes no sense.
Oh my god, that's
Honey,
hilarious. That was our
John, I
first,
don't think it's for you, John.
but that was our first hate comment, and we are so proud.
We
We
are.
are so proud.
Honestly, I feel like we did something because if I revoke
It
this kind of reaction, then it means I'm getting somewhere.
got someone commented like it must have taken a lot. Like, that's crazy. Someone
And
hates us that much.
I just hope that they know that I appreciate their work and their opinion as much as they love our videos. So
Mhm.
thank you, John, our number one fan.
So, John, this is a little piece of advice. Next time you provide feedback, feedback needs to be specific, actionable, measurable. Those are the three things. When you say, okay, that, not specific, makes no sense, not very actionable, and three, not very measurable. So
Yeah.
you're not really giving feedback in a in the best way possible. So next time when you come and tell us, minute from here
Okay.
to here, and
Yes.
then cite the facts you would like us to change, and then that way we can improve. Because if you give feedback that is not those three things, then we just continue doing the same thing, and then we just make fun of you for being dumb.
Yeah.
So
But now
that's
I
a piece
don't
of
know
advice.
how I feel about us giving free advice to John. I mean, I know he's our number one fan, but I mean, I also don't want him to get a big head and think that we're giving him all this free.
Not him coming back and doing another.
He gets really specific. I mean, John, we love you, and I can't wait to hear from you again. And surprisingly, I mean, he does well. He has 3,365. No, I'm lying. 2,984 followers. So
Okay,
John does something right.
maybe a bunch of bots. Well, in summary, don't be the Debbie Downer. Be
Thank you.
the upper, and again, comment if you are that person of the group,
Mhm.
down to go to the bar, not see museums, not go on hikes, and enjoy the finer things in life. So if you're that person, hit me up. Make sure that
this,
you're
this whole episode's
sending
been suit fishing.
comments. Next trip, next trip is London, Dublin, and then next one's Paris. All right.
And I hope things work out for JLo and Ben. God
Yes.
bless.
God bless.
God bless. Bye. Thank you so much for being with us. And tell your friends, men, or enemies, we're not picky. Follow Hair Up, Bra Off everywhere you scroll. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.